So first off the bat, I want to ask you, outside of Crimson Bolt, who is your favorite superhero?
You know, I hate that question because my answer is so boring, because it's Batman. I've always loved Batman. I think Batman's had more good comic books about him than probably any other superhero. And, yeah, it's Batman. That's stupid. You know, I wish it was like, you know, I don't know, Bucky or something, but it's not.
Where did the idea for Crimson Bolt come from?
I don't remember. I wrote the script so long ago. I originally wrote this script as it was going to be a short film. And I just wanted to tell a story about a person, a movie that was about a person first and a superhero second. And I was going to do it as a short film. It was before I'd ever directed anything. I'm like, okay, well, I'll direct a short, show people I can direct. But then I started writing it, and it just got longer and longer and longer. And it became what this is. And the script has almost not changed at all since I first wrote it in 2003. So that's where it started. And for me, the really amazing, I did not plan out any of the movie at all. And it just sort of came to me, especially the ending was almost like my own sort of spiritual awakening. So it was a fun script to wrote it quickly, and it just stuck with me. And over the years, everybody kept telling me that the movie was too weird, it was too esoteric, I couldn't get the movie made. I did actually have a lot of actors that wanted to be in the movie, but we didn't have many people interested in financing it, but it just stuck with me, and I couldn't let it go. And my ex-wife, Jenna Fisher, called me up one day, and she's like, "What are you doing with Super? That's my favorite script that you've ever written. I don't know why you're not making this movie." And I said, "I don't know." And she's like, "You know, have you ever thought of Raine for that role?" And I'd known Raine for 5 or 6 years. And he was perfect, because everybody else that wanted to play the role was... I didn't know anybody else who had the comedic chops, but could also do, a certain dramatic part of the role well, and who, you could believe was picked on, the low man on the totem pole at the diner, but who's also powerful and big enough to kick some ass. The minute she said it, I'm like, wow, that makes sense. And I gave the script to Raine that afternoon, I think.
Check this move out. The tail end, the converse end of that story was I was on the Office set, and Jenna was behind reception, and she's like, "What's going on?" And I was sitting there eating the little candies, and she's like, "I just talked to James, and he said, oh, what should I work on?" And I said, "What about that script, Super? And then I recommended you for it, and I think he's going to send it to you." And I literally went over to my Dwight desk, and there was James sending the script, and said, I hope you like it." And so I had him printed out. I had some chumpy PA printed out for me. I was like, "Here, you fucking idiot, print out the script." I want a gold leaf brought to my trailer. And so I went to my trailer, and I started reading the script that same day, and I was on page 21. And this is a true story. I texted James and I said, "I'm in. I want to make this movie. My hands are trembling." And that's a true story. I responded immediately to this script on a really emotional level. And I just, the thing that I love about it is how many different kinds of storytelling are contained in this movie. I mean, you have a really heartfelt story. There's a love story in here. It's really highly stylized. It's really fucking violent. And it's really funny at the same time as it's heartbreaking. And how rare it is to have a movie that can do all of those things at the same time. That is made for the amount of money that we made this for.
And I mean, there's two things. Like, it's funny when you talk about Jenna, because Jenna was way more proactive than that. Jenna called me up and she's like, "Hey, what about that script soup?" Like, she was pimping you out on that phone call. But then to you, she's pretending like, "Hey, I just talked to James on the phone." But really, it is because of Jenna Fisher that this movie was made. And then the other thing is, when you wrote me that you're on page 22 and that you were in, I didn't take it seriously at all, because I'm like, well, he didn't get to the part where the girl's head gets blown off, and I'm like, you may freak out. Raine's a spiritual guy. You may freak out on the violence at the end, because I know the movie changes so much throughout. I really didn't believe that you were in until you told me after you had read the whole script.
Joke's on you. How about Ellen Page? Canada's finest.
We were all going to get T-shirts made up that said "It's Gushy" on the back. That was.
So what attracted you to the role?
What didn't attract me to the role? Well, you know, first I got an email from Raine that was basically like, hey, I'm going to send you a script. And
Gushy@gmail.com.
and yeah, that line was all my idea. So, and you know, it was pretty simple. I adore Raine, and we knew each other a little from doing Juno together, and had met intermittently since then. And I read the script and adored it, and so wanted to play Libby and just dive into that, and am extremely grateful to have been able to do that. So I had an absolute blast playing this girl. Yeah.
I read the script, and a giant tentacle came out and took my head off, and I was touched by the finger of God.
That was my penis. So that was my penis.
Thank you. I just really loved the script, and I was really touched by it, and really surprised, and really excited to work with all these amazing folks. Sorry, I don't have much of a voice at 3 in the morning. I'm having a hard time talking.
Yeah, that was when Liv was like sort of the final thing. I mean, both these guys came in, and it really was remarkably easy to get both of them. I mean, Ellen read the script, she liked it, we had lunch. I liked her, she liked me, and we're like, this is going to be great. And then same thing with Liv. I mean, we had a great time in New York. That was when I really felt like the movie was going to get made. That was literally one of the best days of my life, was when you said yes.
But when we were putting this together, the funny thing was we were literally like writing down names of actresses for the roles and actors for the role. And we, in God's truth, we sat there and we were like, you know, for the part of Bolty, we need an Ellen Page type. And for the part of Sarah, what would be great, she's got to be angelic. Would you believe her as a drug addict with kind of a dark past? We need a Liv Tyler type. I swear to God. And so we were really like, well, we should at least just start with them, you know, just see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And
I remember giving the script to Ellen and then, you know, talking about all, it was like we just really gave it to her thinking it was completely a throwaway. It was not going to happen at all. And
yeah.
And producer Ted Hope, this is actually his second time in Midnight Madness, because actually the first year I did Midnight Madness, we had a twisted little film called Love God. And Ted was the producer of Love God, and now we've got him back. How did you get involved with the project?
Well, Raine, master of Twitter, actually tweeted one day that he and James _Gunn were going to go out with a effed up low rent Watchmen. And I actually wanted to make a effed up low rent Watchmen. And I called Raine's agent, Lisa Halleman, and said, I have to read the script. And took him about 6 months to let me climb aboard the team.
it did. Ted was really, Ray and I were like, we don't want a producer, we just want to get the movie made, we want financing, if you have money then we'll talk to you, but we don't want a producer. But Ted literally would not give up. And he got our email somehow, and he just kept going and going and going. And finally we were like, wow, somebody who feels as passionate about the script as we do, so let's make it a threesome.
The remarkable thing was we came here last year. You know, I think we were still wondering, like, is Liv going to do the movie? I wasn't sure it was going to happen. And we'd sent it out to a bunch of different buyers. We thought we had 9 or 10 folks who were going to help us with it. I happened to get to sit down with Miranda. It was in front of a convenience store somewhere, saying, like, you know, I have this great project. I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. Miranda said she, could help out a little bit, maybe, on it, and.
Yeah, no, and then he gave me the script, and I was like, oh, God, another script I have to read this weekend. And I read 12 pages, and I called him, and I was like, yeah, I like it so far. I think if it's as good as it is right now, we're good. And to me, it was kind of a no-brainer. It was a great cast. It was a brilliant script. And, I always wanted to work with Ted and James, so I did it.
But it started.
Do you have any questions from the floor here? Yes, in the blue shirt. Stand up.
I was going to ask for Raine and Ellen, what was the best thing about getting to play a superhero?
What was the best thing about playing a superhero?
Just be violent and crazy.
That's pretty good. I think the tights. It's all right. It's kind of late. What else?
The physicality of the role was great. The wearing of a mask, the mystery of that was...
Getting raped by her was pretty awesome.
Next question. Yes, stand up.
Yes, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm just wondering, when is this being released?
We don't know at all. We don't have a distributor. This is the first time more than 15 people have seen this movie. So this is truly the world premiere. There's maybe, I think, these guys have never even seen the movie. I think everybody from here on down has seen the movie, but even they didn't see the finished version.
First time I heard the score tonight by the great Tyler Bates.
Yeah, Tyler Bates. There are a couple of people that we need to really give kudos to, and for my money, there's two people that really helped to create those movies. One is Tyler Bates, who is the composer who did such great movies as Watchmen and 300, and I think he did an amazing job to help pull the movie together, because it was a very difficult movie to write music for, because it's tonally so complex. And then the other person is Steve Gaynor, our DP, who really was with me. On a normal, Hollywood movie, you maybe get 15 setups done a day. Steve and I were doing 54 setups a day. It was a constant sprint and rush to get the movie done, and we had to memorize, what all the shots were ahead of time and know each other's brains, and he was the best guy in the world to work with. And I also know there's a couple more people in the audience that I forgot. Stephen G is down there, who is the comic book store clerk. And John Lawson is here, who gets shot by the Crimson Bulls.
Someone I need to thank, and that is my awesome, beautiful wife, Holiday Reinhorn over here, who put up with so much crap on this movie, me flying back and forth to Shreveport. Thank you.